What is up, my geeks and freaks? Big Girl Geek here with a brand new review. I am here to review The Flash, Season 5, Episode 13, Goldfaced. Alright, y'all know what time it is. It's time for the Geek
3, 2, 1.
Alright, you guys. So, the episode started off with Wells still investigating our girl, Nora West Allen. She's hiding in the walls while he's sitting here saying, who are you working with? So that makes her run to 2049 and talk to Thawne. It's always great to see Thawne, but I'm like, girl, how can you be this naive? You still falling for this man's tricks? Whatever, she gonna learn today. And when talking to Thawne saying how they could get Wells off her scent, he drops an Infinite Earth Easter egg. And he then proceeds to tell Nora that the way to get him off your scent is to find his wife from the other Earths. So they set all that up. Now, we also cut to the main people for the episode, the A story, Cisco and Ralph. They're talking to Caitlin in Star Labs, who mentions that she's working on a cure that Cisco sent her, meaning Cisco's off somewhere, meaning Cisco's not in this episode again, meaning that the rumors... Now, if y'all have not heard the rumors, I don't know if you guys follow online with the rumors, that they will be killing off a major character on The Flash at the end of this season. People are speculating that Cisco, because all of a sudden now he's way out of character, wants to take this cure, doesn't want to be a metahuman, and he's been missing in some of the episodes. Now, we know that the actor has been off filming with Melissa from Supergirl, their mini short movie, which will explain his absence. But does that also hint that he wants to do other things? Because y'all know the rumor for the past couple seasons now is that Melissa from Supergirl is tired of her cape and wants to hang it up and get back to Broadway and other projects. Now, y'all know what I've been saying for the last couple episodes of Flash. Too many people on their roster. I love Cisco. I mean, I would be sad to see him go, but I think it's time. The actor seems checked out to me, in my opinion. And if you're not going to utilize his great acting skills, then let him go be great somewhere else. What do you guys think about that rumor, though? Let me know in the comments. Also, another rumor going around the internet in the Flash, or Arrowverse. I should call it the Flashverse because it's the #1 rated show, but whatever. Arrow started it all. So in the Arrowverse, there is another rumor that the CW's president, Mark, has announced that in May, he will announce which show has been renewed, but it has been renewed for its final season. Some are speculating Arrow. I'm going to go with the other speculation of Supernatural that's been on since I was like, I don't even know, in diapers. So, what do you guys also think about that? Now, getting back on track to the episode, Cisco is gone, nowhere to be seen. Caitlin continues to do her mumble-jumble hands movement ramblings about medical mumble-jumble jargon that does not sound real, but we are going to accept it because it's a fantasy show. Then we cut to a scene of Barry redecorating Iris's new office for the Central City Citizen, and we learn there that Iris is checking out some haters on the internet saying that her paper ain't gonna do nothing because she's boring. Who said that? My girl is not boring. They keep mentioning this Spencer Young person, Nora's love interest. I know it's gonna show back up, but come on, her blog cannot be that poppin' when she was creating the stories in the first place. If y'all recall, she was creating the stories with her Meditech to be the first one to get the scoop on the story that she created. So she's not really the bomb journalist like we all know Iris West Allen to be from the comics and on this show. We know our girl's gonna take it off and it's gonna blow up, and I'm not even worried about it. So because she's feeling a little down because of that, she's like, well, you know, the stuff I'm writing about isn't really connecting with the citizens. I want to write like about Cicada, like I did DeVoe. She's got Barry's blessing as always because they're that power couple. And she goes off to do some investigative journalism thing. Which brings me to my next point for you Iris haters out there. I'm sorry. All I've been seeing on the internet from all the Iris haters is that she's a journalist in the comics, make her a journalist, why she has Star Labs all the time. So now she's out investigating, and we'll get to her big moment later, and people still have a problem with that. Remind me to talk about that in a minute. So this may be more of a rant and review instead of a recap and review, but I got some things to get off my chest about my favorite Central City citizens. All right. Now, you guys know I'm reading my notes as usual. Ralph and Barry decides to go underground to the underground black market to look for a guy named Goldface who may have some of the tech or special things that they need to finish this cure, to finish off Cicada. I don't know. I was in and out of this episode, honestly. And of course, Caitlin, for some reason, is the backup because Iris is out investigating, and for some reason, they don't explain why Cisco's gone. I don't know why Cisco's in there. I just don't know. So, after they get trapped in the underground arena of bad guys, they cuts to Nora, and I'll just wrap up Nora and Thawne's story really quick. Nora and Wells, too many Wells. Nora and Wells go to CC Jitters, and Nora sets it up so he could find a girlfriend. He meets a woman. He kind of creeps her out with his whole "I could read you like a book" situation, and she calls. Nora ends up calling his ex-wives, who we all find out is the same woman from this Earth. He marries the same woman from different Earths, and to do a council of the Wells's ex-wives type situation. Same exact thing. Same storyline. Over it. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Kind of over it. Whatever. So she helps him with his love life. In the end, he meets the wife again at CC Jitters. A little pep talk from Nora. And comes to find out that his wife is a meta. So because she is a meta, he has decided to adjust. I guess she's not a meta in the other Earths. He has decided to adjust his focus to her because he knows Cicada's after the metas, and he doesn't want Cicada to find out about his wife, or not. She's not his wife yet, but the woman that he likes, wife on the other Earths. He doesn't want Cicada to find out that she's a meta, so his focus is now on stopping Cicada to save her, which then allows Nora to continue to work in secret with Thawne to stop Cicada. Alright, that wraps up the Nora and Wells Thawne story. Now, let's focus on Barry's story and Iris, who was A and B plot. Nora and Wells was C plot. So, Iris was doing her journalism thing. She found a lead who gave her the name of Cicada's cousin, and they met at CC Jitters, and she was off to do that. And she sneaks into his house like the bad butt girl that she is, but she brings her purse, and I'm like, girl, Iris, oh, you're so smart. Why would you leave your purse? I knew that was going to backfire, and it did. So she got into the house. Of course, Cicada comes home. Her purse is like on the table, and she's over here by the couch. She gets to the door, but he hears it creaks open. She's forgetting her purse. He comes. He's like, who are you? She's like, oh, you know, I'm a reporter. I'm here to talk to the owner of the house. He's like, I'm the owner of the house, but he locks the door. He locks her in. So she makes up some story about she's doing a journalism piece of story on lead in the water in the neighborhood. And they have a little interview. She gets up to leave. She grabs her purse. He looks and says, you didn't have that when you walked in here. Gets his dagger, throws it at her. They get into a fight, and she stabs him in the chest where his wound is from the satellite falling on him. So, I mean, that was, to me, badass. Iris West Allen is the only female on that show, only person on that show that has probably never lost a fight in hand-to-hand combat with, and she has no powers. Give it up. And of course that made some people mad when I saw this morning on the internet. It made some people mad, and I'm like, how's that making you guys mad? Every time someone calls Iris useless, the writers throw it in their face that she's doing stuff and coming up with stuff, and then the haters are like, well, she's doing too much. So either she's useless or she's doing too much. Pick a lane and stay in it, because I can't keep up. I'm glad she went from a barista to a journalism student. She's college educated, high school educated. Her dad is a cop. She's street smart. She's been on this team for 5 years. She should know how to do something without powers, and she knows how to defend herself. I don't see the problem. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. She took him out, and to me it was fine. What did you want them? You wanted her to die? I don't understand what you wanted. So we see Barry. Now that wraps up that story. Barry and Ralph is a great team up. I really think, like I said, Cisco's leaving, and they are putting Barry and Ralph as the new bro team. And they are in the comics. I mean, it's comic accurate. They're friends in the comics. What do you guys think? So, the big bad, to me, Mr. Goldface, was not scary at all. And he's not really the same as he is in the comics. I think he's a green, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe a Green Lantern villain. Maybe, if I remember. I don't know. I gotta relook it up. I may be wrong in my information, but off the top of my head, I think that's what it is. So I think he was not comic accurate, but he wasn't the actor himself wasn't bringing me in. He wasn't scary to me. He looked like a typical quote-unquote gangster with a gold chain, all this and all that. The only interesting tidbit about him was that he happens to be Amunet's ex-boyfriend, and I would love to see a team up of Amunet and him back in season 4 taking on Barry and Iris, or even go further, and I tweeted this, to see a different version of Barry and Iris that are a bad couple, maybe from a different Earth. That would have been cool. But yeah, him and this villain Goldface, I really wasn't scared, but whatever. And Barry was down there with his black suit and his gold chain, and Ralph had his black suit, and Barry had a really cool scene when he thought on his feet, because he didn't have his powers, they put dampening medicuffs on them, and he's like, call me the chemist, and I was like, okay, Barry, finally, Barry is allowed to be great. Barry is allowed to be smart. He's not relying on Wells and Caitlin and Cisco. And that's another reason, get back to why, if Cisco leaves, I'm sorry. If Cisco leaves and he's the engineer, quote unquote, Barry, who makes his own stuff in the comics, who makes his ring, who makes his suits, can maybe be great, and he doesn't have to rely on Cisco. I'm just saying. It is called The Flash. I love Cisco, but it's called The Flash. I'm here for The Flash. I'm sorry. Don't shoot me. I love Cisco, but them leaving, Cisco and Caitlin leaving, opens up so much more for smarter, more comic accurate Barry. Just saying. So Barry then messes up because he's checking out the black market and wants to buy these guns and get them off the street so they don't hurt the CCPD officers. And kind of, you know, tells himself, and it makes them suspicious of him and Ralph anyway. Even though he said, you know, like, I'm the chemist, it still lets some little suspicion out. So their mission, if you will, is to go to this lab to steal this 3D printer before it gets to a hospital to sell on the black market and to make organs, all that. They just want to sell it on the black market. So Ralph decides that the Flash is too clean cut for this and he shouldn't get his hands dirty, but excuse me, but Ralph can. Excuse me. So he locks Barry in the van. Now, how did Barry fall for, oh, let me check your gun, I left my phone in the van, can you check? Gets himself locked in the van by Ralph. Okay, we're gonna go with it. So Ralph finds the 3D printer, and he knocks out the bad guy, and him and Barry get into a fight scene with the bad guys, and it looks like one giant laser tag scene. I was cracking up. They even did a slow-mo motion shot to make them look bad, but I was just cackling the whole time. What did you guys think? I don't know, it's just like giant laser tag, whatever. I mean, these bad guys were shooting worse than stormtroopers. I don't know. But okay, I mean, but all right. So they took out all the bad guys, and of course, Goldface showed up. He looked kind of cool with that whole fight scene with his whole face kind of melted off because he was going to do his big bad speech, and they shot him up. That was pretty funny. They shot him before he could do his big bad speech. They got into a fight, and I kept saying, okay, bring on Killer Frost, because she just disappeared the whole episode. Bring on Killer Frost. And it didn't happen. Barry took, and not even Ralph, Barry took down the bad guy. Hallelujah. He was smart without his meta powers, without any ammunition in his gun, took down the bad guy, and I could not be happier. I could not be happier. Barry took down the bad guy, and Iris took down the bad guy. Great. So after they took down the bad guy, they went to Star Labs to get checked out and cleared by the doctor, and Iris called him, and he raced over there to Cicada's house, and she said, did you get what you needed? They said no. She said, well, I know how to stop him. Picked up what she stabbed him with. So obviously it's to put the cure into his wounds, and that should cure him of being a metahuman. And that was episode. Next week looks like we're on a time loop, kind of Nora's version of Enter Flash time type episode, where everything is happening in a loop. Like, looks like Iris gets hurt, then she tries to stop that, and then Barry gets hurt, and she tries to stop that, and someone else gets hurt. So that's what's going on in next week's episode. So that was my recap and review of The Flash, season 5, episode 13, Goldface. What did you guys think of the episode? Let me know in the comments. Like I said earlier in the beginning of this review, The Flash is a bit stagnant for me personally, and they have these one-off episodes where some are good and some are bad, and they need to really find their rhythm and get back into what made The Flash great. This episode to me was meh. It was it was definitely filler, and it had its good moments, but overall, I don't know. I give it maybe like a C. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Alright, you guys, that is all that I have for you today for The Flash. Until next time, my Central City citizens, I am out of here. Big Girl Geek out. Peace. Hey, where are you going? You just watched a cool video. Subscribe.